Hello? Good. Right, how's this? Is this, hello? Good. Right, how's this? Oh wow, I was muted until now. Thanks for coming. Hey Halo, how you doing? Um, man, I gotta remember that. Is not, that is not, yeah, so sorry about that. It was muted until now. So I guess like the last 5 minutes of dialogue was kind of going to nobody. So how you doing with everything considered? Is the coronavirus getting you down? Wow, that is thick paint. It sucks. It's gonna have a drip on it now. You're making me nervous, dude. Are you there? 48. Yeah, it's only been a minute. Should be there. Hello, speak to me. This wind current is not great for. I'm just trying to do that. Okay. All right. So I'm doing all right. I mean, like, I wish I could go back to martial arts. Oh. Wish I could go back to martial arts. Because that's one way this coronavirus has affected me. I'm not able to go and do things outside, which translates to martial arts and poker. So other than that, nothing much has changed. I can still game online. Well, yeah, like my co-workers are not. So I work at a company, right, as a day job, and because I'm like a programmer and stuff, and I work in a programming team, we can all work from home, which is pretty nice. But because everyone's opted to work from home, I am like the only one in the office, and I asked if I could stay because it's easier to be. I'm actually more isolated at work because I live in a share house. So it's actually safer and more productive for me to be at work. But a lot of my coworkers decide to stay at home. Yeah, so I'm still going to work, so that's another way my life has changed. Otherwise, I can no longer. I'm pretty alone at work, no one around, it's just me in the office. And a lot of my coworkers are getting stressed out because they have to look after their families at home. And they're not exactly the quietest people to work around. That's actually pretty good. It's very light. So I think we'll just take the wiring off. And how do I do this? Okay, so let's just take the wiring off. Okay, so we have that file for later. What else needs to touch up? Could use a touch up. Hey Lou, you still there, buddy? Buddy. And let me come and find you. Oh, and if you are tuning in from YouTube and Facebook, if you're tuning in from YouTube and Facebook, the live chat, you can live chat to me on YouTube and Twitch. So yeah, can't do martial arts classes, can't play poker. I guess I have to settle for video games. Alone at work, a lot of my co-workers are more stressed out, so I have to deal with them being stressed out. And when they're stressed out, they tend to be shitty towards me. So I don't know if they realize it, but you know, they tend to let their tempers flare. And you know, I always assume that the older you get, the more mature you become. It seems like they just lose it, and I'm a free punchy person, which is not great. There are times where it's affectionate, but sometimes it's just not great to be around. It really tends to be malicious. Well, not malicious, but it doesn't tend to be funny anymore. So sometimes it's affectionate, but other times it's just hurtful. Like today, I was working on something with a particular problem. I tried to explain like this programming problem wasn't as straightforward as we thought. Because it was to do with testing and a lot of test code, and like a lot of the tests weren't really relevant because of like, first of all, like we already had tests covering the solution, but also the thing, like the code that was being tested was written really poorly, and it's hard to test if it's working because the outcomes were the same. So how do I explain this? So, how do I explain this? So let's say like I give you, let's say I give you a number, and you're in charge of holding that number, of remembering that number, and you can only. And I will continue to give you numbers. So your number will change based on the stuff I give you. So if maybe this is a bad way to explain it. So let's say I gave you a pizza, and your pizza, you have to hold this pizza while I go to the toilet or whatever. You just have to hold this pizza for me, and you can only. And I will, from time to time, ask you to hold my pizza whilst I go, you know, handle some stuff. The thing is, right, the only condition is that you can only hold a pizza I give you if it's a different pizza. You can only hold like the next, so if I gave you a pepperoni pizza, you can only hold another pizza for me if the pizza is different. So this makes it hard to test because what if I gave you the same type of pizza, but I want to know that the pizza that I originally gave you was the original one. So in code to test that, it's really hard. So in the situation I was trying to test for, like I gave you a pepperoni pizza, and then I have another pepperoni pizza which I'm asking you to hold. Now, like it's like I'm like in that situation, I'm not really watching or paying attention. As soon as I give you the pizza, I forget. So once I give you the second pepperoni pizza, you can only hold the pizza if it's different from the pizza you're holding. So in this case, I gave you another pepperoni pizza, and you just throw that away because that's the condition. So how do I check if the pepperoni pizza you have was the old one or the new one, right? And that's a very, very tricky problem to solve. So yeah. So back to the story. Today, I think like my colleague of mine got really frustrated because because he had kids in the background. The working from home technology wasn't as friendly as it should. Usually there's drawing functions available, but because I had like a multi desktop setup, it didn't work. So it got kind of frustrating that, and pairing got difficult because it didn't work the way we wanted it to. That's just a touch of yeah, and he got increasingly frustrated, and I tried to explain like this complicated thing, which I think in the end, despite all my attempts to explain to him, I think he just didn't really let it sink in, and he just thought the way he wanted to do it was right. And in the end, it turned out we were both thinking the same thing. We were both thinking the same thing. We both came to the same conclusion, basically. So I don't know how to handle that. Like, the only way I could get out of so basically, he got to the point where he was yelling at me, and I'm not sure if he realized it, but he was getting continuously annoyed, and it made it really awkward for me to try and respond to him, because I tried to respond to him as best as I could, but the more I responded, the more angry it made me. So yeah, the only way I could resolve it was like just awkwardly sit there in silence as he ran out of steam, and until he was receptive to listening again. So yeah, this coronavirus, man, is affecting people at work in more ways than they know, and it was really, it's going to get more stressful because coronavirus, I hear from people at work and the news that it's not gonna go away anytime soon. Some people think it's gonna like be months before it gets better, like months, maybe like, and I can't imagine being stuck indoors for years and years and years. Well, not years. Years is too long. I can't imagine being like indoors for like half a year. They think it's going to clear up in half a year, and that's really tough to imagine. Like, all the stuff all the weekly routine stuff that I'm very much dependent on, like going to martial arts classes for fitness, playing poker, because it's one of my goals to try and succeed at poker. I'm reading a lot of books and I'm doing drills and stuff. Get better. It's not the usual way people will try and make a living out of, but I think it would be a really interesting one to attend tournaments and be famous for that kind of play. So I'm going to try my best at it to get good at it. It's like I could be comfy, like in staying in where I am and then just work till I die, but I want to see more of what this world has to offer and try to succeed in unorthodox ways, like paths that are less traveled. And you know what they say about cliches? Cliches are cliches because they work. Well, I want to try a path in life that isn't popular, or is different. I want to try a path that is different to what the average person would choose for themselves. So yeah, I choose poker, and although I'm not really earning much profit now, I'm gonna try exploring. See, like my fear of poker is that I will discover one day that maybe it's not for me. And my fear is that it's like, oh man, like I invested so much time just to discover that it wasn't for me. And I kind of feel like it was a waste of time. That's my greatest fear. Like, do you guys have that fear? That, you want to try something new, and then, you're trying it for a while, and you're fooling yourself that you like it, but in the end you end up moving on to something else. That's my fear. Like, I've had many hobbies over my lifetime, and I've always moved on from them, like my tastes have changed. So is that good? Is it good that I haven't stuck with something? I've only tried it for a little while and then stopped. Is that wrong? Question is the answer drugs? No, the answer is not drugs. I always feel like I'm always trying new things, and I'm still found something that I want to stick with, and I might drift through life, trying new things and never really mastering anything, and that's one of my concerns, that I will not master anything or get good at anything to the level of like professionals and things. Because I really wonder, right? Like I'm really jealous of people that become masters of their field, and they stick to doing something for a very long time, and they're able to master it and become number one in that field. But for me, like I haven't found that thing. I get bored of it, and eventually I stop doing. So a perfect example is I used to play paintball quite like more than average. I used to play it like a sport, but then I just stopped. Not sure why. I took it on in uni, and I figured out, hey, I could do this regularly with, I figured out the economics of it. Like, can I do this per week? And how much would it cost per week if I did it per week? I worked out the economics of it. Bought a gun, because, that's the biggest purchase. You buy yourself a marker, that's what they call it. And so I did. I bought my marker and got into, buying like bulk amounts of paintball. But eventually it stopped. Going. I'm not sure why. I think somewhere in starting, between starting and finishing my career at paintball, I think somewhere along the line I found it the same and repetitive. Like, all games would start the same, all the maps were the same, and the positions were the same. The gun handled the same. We get hit, we get out, and it started being the same. It started being boring. I stuck with it as long as I could, but eventually I just got bored of it, and I stopped going. And I kind of regret spending a lot of money and paint and time on a hobby that I never really ended up keeping. So, is that wrong? I wonder if that's wrong. Yeah, so just me or is this pen cam getting weaker? I think it is. It's like getting super weak. Yeah, so I wonder, right, that all the hobbies that I have now, which is sword fighting, poker, metalwork to some extent. I think the one hobby that stuck with me is cosplay, but I've never really had, you know, the amounts of money that I needed to do cosplay. Because cosplay is very expensive. You have to buy your own tools and spend a lot of time like designing on the designs, and I always go for like really complicated designs, which I think the one thing that has stuck with me is cosplay, and this is kind of cosplay. We're trying to make samurai armor. Actually, are these even sanded? I don't think these are even sanded. Alright, we'll let that dry, and I guess we'll just have a sanding session whilst we talk about life, love, and the universe. Probably be about my life this session. You may have noticed a change in our format. I'm trying to be more interactive and talk to the camera. I hear that is one thing to be successful as a streamer. Gotta talk and keep talking. Go away messages. Yeah. So I think you guys are better off on this side. So okay. So we want to sand these before painting them so that the paint goes on smooth and it doesn't look like shit. So we'll be sanding, and whilst you can sit there and listen to me ramble. So where was I? So yeah, I'm worried that like I'll never be happy with a hobby, right? Or I'll never find something that I like doing forever. Because I'm always jealous about people who say, oh, I like doing this. I like streaming, or I like knitting, or some kind of hobby I enjoy forever. Because I've been searching all this time for something that I could enjoy doing forever and never get tired of. But so far it hasn't been going well, and I've been just getting tired of everything. Well, and moving on to the next thing. So previously, let's see, number of, whoa, that's really crap footage. Sorry about that. So I was worried about moving. Oh, yeah, I was worried like I'll never find a hobby that I could do properly. So here are the list of hobbies that I have done but have since abandoned. LARPing. So I used to, run around and hit mates with swords. Not swords, it's like throwing swords. So I used to do that. Not so much anymore. I keep in contact with the community, but not really quite doing that every week anymore. So LARP is one. I've already talked about paintball. So I used to, in university, I used to play paintball a lot because, there wasn't really a thing called airsoft. But I quickly got kind of stale and boring, and I couldn't really spice it up for myself. several video games I tried to get competitive at. I think there was World of Tanks at one point. I played it together with my new friends. It was great. Although I think that's a story in of itself. Like that is not quite so happy. So I played with Unifriends and I think it was good. I'm hesitant to say it was good because maybe I was in denial the entire time. I played World of Tanks and tried to do it competitively with my Unifriends. Smash. So I used to be really competitive in Project M, which is a version of Smash that nobody knows about. But basically, during the release of Brawl, Sakurai released Brawl, and he made Smash more like a party game instead of a competitive game, and this caused the community to split on the matter. So half the community went back to competitive melee, which is still, is sort of standard today, and the other half tried Brawl for a while, but then decided that, hey, let's make a melee version of Brawl. So that's what they did, and they called it Project M, so Project Melee. A lot of my favorite Smashes I used to follow a lot of how the rankings and placings and keeping up with what happened in Project M. But the thing is, it was always a game that was very not accessible because it was not very accessible because you basically had to hack your Wii to get it to work. Because there was a mod, and the Wii at the time does not support mods. And I think, the Switch doesn't really support mods either. But I think it might be easier on the Switch rather than the Wii right now. So yeah, that was a thing. And and it was hard because it was inaccessible. And eventually, the hype of it died down. So, because there was a mod, Nintendo didn't support it either. So not only was it hard to access, you had to literally be a hacker to get Project M to work on your Wii. So you had to be a hacker to get it to work, and you had to be a hacker to get it to work, and Nintendo really didn't support it because I think because they tried to make Brawl Hey John, are you sick or are you just protecting yourself?
I'm protecting myself.
Right. Welcome to the stream. I am making an attempt to make my stream better and talk all the time, because it's something I read that you should do on stream.
Yep.
That's John. He's helping me with a sign. How's that going? Laser cut is still broken, right? So you can't do much.
It is. I was gonna 3D print the sign.
Oh yeah.
And the design I came up with was not good.
Oh, okay.
So I don't want to print that one.
Alright, well, I'm trying to raise funds for us another way. So I'm basically raiding our recycling bins at work to recycle all the cans and the milk cartons before the janitors pick them up. So we'll have a steady income of aluminium and plastic, which will slowly turn into 10-cent coins.
Well, I brought in my Dremel.
Huh?
I brought in my Dremel. It's
Nice.
a little bit more powerful than what I'm using before.
Oh, really? Why didn't you bring it in before?
Because
Did you use it at home?
a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. like I was saying, like the topic of today is like I was wondering, is it wrong to? I feel so bad like stopping hobbies, and maybe it's just a natural thing to happen. Like you pick up a hobby, you do it for a while, then you kind of stop because you lose interest. I think that's kind of natural, but I always feel bad like stopping hobbies because it's like you never like stick around long enough to master it.
I think it depends a good deal on why you're doing the hobby.
I guess.
If it's not interesting anymore, why do it?
I guess so. But I'm always jealous of people that have found something that they can do like forever, and they become a master of that craft, and they can, turn it into a job and stuff like that. So
Maybe you're impatient.
huh?
Maybe you're impatient.
Maybe I'm impatient. Maybe.
Maybe you're not picking a lucrative hobby.
Yeah, well, that's how I feel about streaming sometimes. Like I've done it for 2 years. Maybe I haven't done it as well as I should have. So I'm trying to improve by creating YouTube videos. If you haven't seen the latest YouTube video I published, well, you're gonna see it. You're probably already familiar with half of it anyway, because maybe you've been here live instead of the recording. But yeah, it's how I feel about streaming sometimes, because I've been doing it for a year, it's not really going anywhere, and I'm just getting increasingly concerned. Am I just wasting my time? Should I move on to something else, or should I stay committed and make this work? You know how, like they say, like good things come to those who wait, but this could go on forever without being profitable. So what do you think? That's the topic of today. Like, is it wrong to? It feels wrong, but is it wrong to like give up hobbies once you lose interest in them? Because clearly I've lost interest in them, right? Because I feel like I've lost interest, and that's why I stopped.
Are you asking me or?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
There's no harm in taking a break if that's what you want to do.
Okay.
A break is not a permanent thing, so you don't have to commit to a break.
I guess. But I used to do paintball quite competitively. Well, not competitively, but more competitive than your casual game. Like I used to do it weekly. I bought my own gun and everything, invested on the stuff. I used to do it like more than the average person, like a weekly sport thing, and then eventually I stopped because maybe it was because of the money, but it also got boring. It was like the game started the same, the maps never changed, your weapon is still the same. You do the same thing, running around shooting people, and it was less fun. And eventually, it got to the point where I was like, can't be bothered. So I think in that case, it was a case of being bored of it, and I could have stayed on for the fitness, which is why I think I started that up in the first place.
You did paintball for fitness?
Yeah. It's not actually that expensive once you're set up. So that's like an example of a hobby that I stopped because I lost interest. And I'm wondering, and it's scary to think that this might be applicable to streaming, because I kind of want to like find something that I want to do, but I still haven't found it yet. What?
Can you see this?
Have I seen what?
Yeah.
Does it work? Nice. Can you rev the the sewing machine for us?
Well, I've got to adjust the pace file down. Yeah.
Oh wow, awesome. Hey, that's really cool. You fixed it. So my friend at the moment is a doctor, and because I'm live streaming this, working on the armor, she's telling me to go home because, you know, isolate yourself and don't catch the virus. But the thing is, like, this space is not filled with people, and there's only one other person, so I feel okay. I'm just gonna send her a message. Don't worry, it's pretty isolated here. I don't know if she's trying to look for my best interest, or she's venting at me about the if she's venting at me or has my best interest in mind. I had to do a touch up, so yeah, I did your advice and did not a second coat, but touched it up.
I think where it's hanging is definitely not getting.
Are you watching this? Are you watching this? I hope you're watching this, so I can just respond here instead of sending you a message. Send me a message telling me that you're watching the stream. I'm waiting. You watching the stream? Sorry, what? What'd you say?
I was saying, I expected where it was hanging, the plates you needed to retain it because it wouldn't be underneath it.
Oh, I turned it over.
Okay.
Yeah. And I also examined it whilst it was dry and did some touch up. So it's actually that paint's pretty good. It feels pretty solid. Yeah, well, the dry ones. She's not watching the stream. Okay, it's pretty isolated here. Yeah, pretty much. And there's few.
It stands up to nothing.
Huh?
The paint scratches like crazy.
Okay.
Even my nail.
Is that a dry one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty dry.
So it scratches?
It scratches.
Okay. They're pretty much around there. Here. Wow, that's so annoying. Wow. My friend needs help.
Wow.
Well, do you want to later during a stream, and we can hang out? Okay, just gonna do the end there. But yeah, what do you think? Is that? I feel like you know, moving through so many hobbies, I'll never find something that I like doing forever, or that I really like doing and sticking long enough with it. Yeah, I feel like I'm just gonna keep searching forever. And I'm never gonna settle for anything. Maybe that's a good thing and a bad thing, right? Because if you settle on something, it feels like you're giving up the search. Maybe the search is the hobby. I don't know.
You know what acquired taste is?
An acquired taste.
Yeah.
Like you hate something, but then you grow to like it.
Yeah.
Like chili sauce.
It's like you don't like something and you do it anyway. for reasons best known to yourself. You don't have to do that.
Sorry, what?
You don't have to do that.
Do what?
Have an acquired taste. You don't have to get used to something if you don't like.
Yes, but I'm not really honest with myself in that fashion because, like, I think there's a denial period for a time. Yeah.
Why would you be in denial?
See, like,
hobby?
well, yeah, because like like. I think I get overinvested at the start, so I like throw everything I have at it, and then I kind of had this denial period because I was like, oh, this is so much time, and I like forced myself to like it.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
the sunken ship fallacy.
Huh?
Sunken money.
Yeah. Like you don't want to admit cutting your losses.
Yeah. So you just keep investing further, hoping it'll pay off.
Yeah, maybe streaming's like that. Maybe I'll just stick with it for a while. I'm trying to make it work. I've been half-assing it until now.
Pretty sure every streamer that actually
has streamed feels this way.
Yeah. But like everyone that's actually been successful, and as in gotten staying and actually being able to make money out of it, they didn't do it for the money.
Yeah. I think the prime, like...
Do you want to be ringside afterwards?
Not really.
Then don't do it for the money.
That's a cool way of thinking about it. Yeah, she's really stressed out. Well, she's a doctor, like on the front lines fighting this coronavirus thing.
Yeah. But she's not stressed about you. She's stressed about the situation and.
Yeah, possibly. Like, what was it she asked? She's like, she's telling me to go on lockdown, but I'm wondering if this is just because she wants to rant or she's just concerned for my health. But I think it's a little both, but mostly because she wants to rant. And she's fed up with like people not taking this virus seriously. I mean, like I get it, but I feel like I'm isolated enough.
There's only two of us here.
Yes, and you're wearing a mask, so.
I'm going to be leaving soon.
Okay.
I'll be back tomorrow.
Huh?
I'll be back tomorrow, so I can pick this up then.
I'm not gonna be here tomorrow. What am I doing tomorrow?
But you're not taking this with you.
Huh?
You're not taking the drummer with you.
No.
So.
Yeah, you can leave it here. Sure. Oh, the paint is shit. Okay. What the house shit? Can I do it?
Maybe it takes a little longer for it to
For it to set?
Yeah.
Maybe. This could use a little touch-up. A little sliver of silver there. I think I'm just spraying down at this moment. It's like kind of dry.
Okay.
Let's get it in. Is this the one you scratched?
No. I painted over it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, it's still soft. Like, I just did that. And I'm already rubbing into it. Ugh, okay. Maybe give it 24 hours.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's kind of let some silver on it. I'm actually not sure if it's silver or it's just a white. Pretty sure it's the white. But yes, stealth black. Exactly as we wanted it. Alrighty.
course people aren't going to take the coronavirus seriously. Of course people aren't going to take the coronavirus seriously.
Why is that, you think?
People are stupid.
Well, yeah. But also, like, we have a resistance to learning about new news. Like, there's I think I've read a study where like how much it would take to make someone believe something. Like it was like some test about gullibility or something. And I think like if you hear it from one person, like it's not enough. You gotta hear it like from like 4 people, even if the 4 people previously heard it from one source, or something like that. So people are just naturally not inclined to believe like new news. Well, at least most of the time, anyway. Yeah, like I don't know about streaming. I've never really thought about do I consider streaming for the money? I think the money and fame and fortune is what lured me in. But I think when it does come down to it, I do enjoy entertaining people with the tiny little stream that I have. But the problem is, like, I don't have that audience. Like I haven't grown that audience very far. Which is why I'm trying to improve and get the audience, because it's a feedback loop, right? It's a positive feedback loop. You're positive and you energize your audience is energized, so they energize you. That's how I feel. I think a lot of the time when I do actually have people watching the channel. But I'm just not there yet, and it takes a long time for it to get there. So, which is why I'm kind of like nervous, because when will I get there, and is that kind of like an illusion of happiness? Maybe I won't enjoy it when I'm actually there, So yeah. So I don't know if I'm doing it for the money. I think like originally I was, and like I have come to enjoy the company of an audience, but it's not often that I do have an audience, so I don't really know if I can do that long term, you see. So yeah, unlike paintball, which I've dropped because it got boring, this is sort of like still trying it out and still trying to see if this is where I want to go with it. So yeah, does that sound weird?
A little bit, because you've got it for 2 years and still trying it out.
Yeah, because I've been doing it half-assed, right? And I never really had an audience in those 2 years. But when the moments I had, it felt really good.
Well, did you enjoy not putting a lot of yourself into it?
Huh?
Did you enjoy doing it half-assed?
Not really, because it felt like I wasn't making any progress.
Alright.
Yeah. I like to see like something. I like to see evidence of me doing well at something. And like obviously everybody likes to figure out that they're good at something. Kind of makes them feel better about themselves because you're good at a thing. So in this case, I'm trying to feel good about streaming, but there is no evidence that it's getting popular or is becoming more successful. So in fact, quite the contrary, because I'm not growing, it's kind of evidence to say that I suck at this thing.
It might also be the platform you're using.
Yeah, maybe. There's not really that many platforms. Hey, Koji, is that you? The Koji I know from work, is that you? Say something. You doing okay? If you are from the Koji from work, because I think that's Koji N. How you doing, bud? How's the quarantine, dude? How's things at your place? So yeah, I was talking about streaming and how I feel about it. And is this something I could do forever, or is it just another hobby? Okay. So it is you from West. How you doing? I'm working on becoming a samurai, as we have discussed. We're still like polishing and cleaning up these plates. So I know I'm supposed to be locked down a lot. Like, a friend of mine is urging me to go home, but there's very few people here in the factory. So this is the armor. It's no longer the gunmetal picture that I showed you before. It's galvanized. So this is what galvanized metal looks like. It's brighter, where it almost looks like aluminium. So I'm cleaning that up. But yes, the topic I haven't talked about at the moment is streaming. I have mixed feelings about streaming. I like it when I have an audience to talk to. It's really fun to hang out with people and share a hobby that I like. But most of the time it's not like that, and I'm just talking to myself like a crazy person. So yeah, it's hard to say that I like it, because the moments that I do like don't happen often. And I understand, to get to that stage, you need to work hard at it to build that community. But I've been half-assing it for 2 years, like not really putting that much effort into it. And I think I'm quite used to the schedule now. Like I do 2 streams a week, which is all of my, which is like about a third of my spare time. The 1/3 I invest into fitness. The other third I invest into coding. So, and then this final third I invest into streaming. So yeah, like that's how I feel about streaming. Like, is it a hobby that I'll come to and enjoy, or is it something I'm going to leave in the past? And my fear is that it will just be a hobby that I leave, that I stop doing, and I would have wasted all my time in doing something that never really turned into anything. I don't know, is that worse than doing it forever and figuring out that you never liked it? I don't know. Is it smart enough to cut your losses, or should I carry on and try and build something out of this thing? And I hate to give things up, because it feels like you lose something when you give up. You're sick earlier this week. Oh, your girl was sick earlier this week though. Oh yeah? Like just a regular cold? Is that what you had? What am I wearing? This is a paint overall, because I was doing some painting earlier. I haven't really bothered to take it off. So this is just protective clothing. So that's what I'm wearing right now. This is protective clothing. I have my regular clothes on me. But this is like, you can buy them from Bunnings. You can buy them from Bunnings, and it's basically, $10. And it's a very thin, like, overalls that you can wear over your clothes so you don't get paint on your clothes. You believe it was a regular cold or something? Okay. Alright. So, okay, well that's good. It's good that you're well. I haven't heard from you in a long time. We need to eat out again. But here's the thing. I hear that it might go on for a long time, the coronavirus. I hear the coronavirus might happen for a long time. Like Hung was saying, Hung was saying it was going to be like 6 months or something that coronavirus will last. And I just hate that idea of being cooped up inside a house for 6 months. I hope it's not 6 months. I hope it gets resolved in like maybe 1 or 2 months. Yeah. I hope it doesn't last 6 months, is what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna have to redo that. So yeah, it's a one-piece suit. Yeah, so How's the sound? You can hear me, right? Welcome to the stream. This is what the stream's all about. We are cleaning up the plates. So we got it galvanized, and the thing about, I think it was like drip galvanized, or like dipped galvanized. So when it comes back, there's like a lot of like drop marks on it. So one such example is that we got like a massive drop mark there. I don't know if you can see that. So like it's a big drop mark. It's not flat at all, and so that is like one of the flatter ones that I managed to shave off. Like it gets really annoying to wear when you have like drop marks that are like really sharp and they just jab you in the stomach. So we're trying to resolve that today and get these plates like sanded up like this so it's like smooth and nice, so we can spray paint it over there. I'll show you the spray paint later. We gotta do some more. You heard that May would be the peak and hopefully die down. I hope so, buddy. So what is it? What is it now? It's, what month is it?
April.
April? So 1 month. 1 month of quarantine? Okay. So yeah, maybe another month of quarantine, which is okay, I guess. But I'm not like, I hope it doesn't last longer than that. I can probably like do 2 weeks of quarantine before I start like getting depressed. It's like I surprisingly do a lot of stuff outside. Yeah. So yeah, like it's happening. Yeah, we're trying to get rid of the droplet while shaving it off. So yeah, what about you, Koji? Did you ever have any hobbies that you gave up? Did you regret giving them up? Because I've plenty, and I have plenty of hobbies that I've given up, and we're not proud of. Like, I still feel the loss of leaving it there. Huh? I don't think so. Like, I had my fun with paintball. That's just one example, right? In fact, I had a period where I just where I just stopped streaming for a while. So I did have that too, but now I'm back doing it. So yeah, I've been doing it for 2 years, and I've finally realized that it's not really going anywhere, and I've got to start asking myself, why isn't it going anywhere? Because 2 years is enough time to say, hey, like, you can do this regularly now, but why isn't it a good stream right now? So that's the questions I'm asking myself. So you already know about this, Koji. I told you I was going to start making YouTube videos, make my YouTube presence stronger. Not sure about metalwork and how to reach other metalworkers on the internet. And also, you might have noticed I started to talk a lot more. But I think I have to bring up a bottle of water or something because I'm getting thirsty just running my mouth. So yeah, do you have any hobbies that you gave up and you kind of regret stopping? You can't. Okay, so nothing has changed to me. All right, nothing has changed. What about going out to eat, Koji? What about our lunches, man? What about our double down, where we're saving money together and talking about where to invest? So, talk about investment. Like, my sister, I think I told you, my sister asked me to buy some shares. So Tesla went up 26% from its lowest point. So 26 from its lowest point, and I said to my sister, hey, we saw like a big rise, maybe it's time. And she said buy, so I bought. So I have spent all of the money that I decided to put in stake and bought Tesla. Because to save money, I'm only allowed 2 free purchases a month, you know this. So along with my sister's investment, I put another $600-ish into Tesla. It's not really diversifying, is it? Not really. I didn't put much into ETFs this month. I put it all into Tesla. Oh, and I also put money into Boeing, because Boeing is like crashed so hard. They've crashed so hard. It's like the first time in 5 years that they've been this low. So it is a good time to buy. Like it is, yeah. So because no one saw that coming, right? Like the Supermax planes were going down. Like coronavirus hit them and just started disrupting their supply chain, and the value just went really low. So another good time to buy. Basically, good time to buy. Kind of missed double down. Yeah, she's talking about Tesla 550. Yeah, Tesla is super low. Well, actually, like, let me just finish this part. So I bought Tesla shares on behalf of my sister, but she hasn't gotten her pay yet, so she will pay me later. So I put extra money for her but it's not hers until she pays up, right? So that's how it's gonna work. I'm gonna like teach her how to do it over Christmas. Same how I converted you. So I'll convert my sister too, and then we'll invest in all that shit together. Yeah, man, I miss double downs too. Like, I'm just eating alone at Subways now. Fuck. Yeah, Tesla, so the price of Tesla when it was lowest, I think was like $490, and then it increased 26% of its lowest point. And lucky for me, because the lowest point that Tesla has fallen to during this coronavirus crisis, it was actually like the price where I bought my shares. So it never got lower than the original price that I bought them for, which is pretty good. But I'm expecting Tesla to kick back in really soon. I don't believe like Elon Musk would die so quickly from a virus. What is your brokerage pack? My pack is unlimited, and I think it's for free till July this year. I think yours is the same. I think so. Not sure. I didn't really like check what package I had. I think they said, "Oh, you're on the free brokerage unlimited until this time." But I'm assuming like I'm on the free one. I'm always assuming I'm on the free one. So I'm not really sure about that brokerage pack. Illy J, I want to become. Oh my god. Alright. Block that person. So what were we talking about? Oh yeah, you were talking about soccer. So we got told of something that was sick earlier this week. Wish you kept playing soccer or karate. Okay. Well, why did you stop? Why did you stop playing soccer? See, like, I used to be, I think in Japan, like, you have airsoft, right, in Japan. I think Japan has airsoft. So for, yeah, I think Japan has airsoft. And I used to be like those guys, except in Australia we only have paintball. But I used to play paintball heaps. Yeah, but I eventually got tired of it because it was kind of getting the same. And I think that's what I kind of started to realize. I don't like sports and exercise that were just the same. Same running around, same guns, same map, same people. There was like nothing to... There's no progress. There's no sense of progress. It's just, there's a game today and a game tomorrow. And it got really boring really quickly. So that's why I didn't really keep up with paintball, I think. And then, you know, I kind of stopped because, you know, paintball was also expensive because you needed to pay for ammo and stuff. Yeah. It was cheap for, well, like when I got set up, it was pretty cheap. Once you have your own gun, like, the club sells you paint at a discount. So yeah, I think towards the end, I like gave away my stash of paintballs. It was like a big box of 2,000 bullets. Like I think towards the end, I gave it away because you know, that it was doing nothing at my home. Someday when we go paintball or when you know the team goes paintball, like I'll wear my custom gear because I managed to bring over some custom gear from Western Australia, so I managed to clean up the bottles that I used to use, and it's now here, so I'll be able to use custom gear. But yeah, like to the public, paintball is super expensive. It's like $100, man. If yours is the same as mine, you can buy and sell as many times as I want. Ooh. All right. Well, if that's the case, I think like 2 weeks from now we will have our pay cycle again. So, what is your recommendations this time? I actually talked to a lot of poker buddies before it. I actually talked to a lot of poker buddies before you know the club shut down, and they like one of them recommended Westpac, just like you, because Westpac was. Had a good return. I think he said like Westpac had like 9% return as a dividend, which is pretty crazy. I remember because he said you actually earn more money investing in the bank than keeping your money in the bank, which is really weird. That's okay. I'm gonna start sanding. This side is sanded. Sand the other side. I stopped playing soccer. Oh, okay. So, stopped playing soccer to start karate. Stopped karate because I got too busy working. I think I know how you felt. Right. But now you have all this time, right? So clearly you can do karate again once the virus leaves. But I think we had this conversation before where you said that. I think you said that you wanted to learn karate, but there wasn't that particular style of karate that you wanted to study. And you haven't found a place that did it, right? So that's why you didn't really start it up again. Is that still the case? I mean, like, just for the sake of keeping fit and healthy, like I think we should take it up again. Even though like the style that you find is not really exactly the style that you I think that feels okay. Just trying to feel where the gaps are. There's like a sharp edge over here I have to deal with. That's pretty. Mastercard's doing good. It's a growth income. Interesting. So is it like a growth card type of stock, or do they offer like a dividend? There's no Kyoshin karate in Newcastle. I rather learn kickboxing. There's plenty of kickboxing, dude. Just highly recommended. Like it's highly recommended that you find something. Just to do for health, right? See, like I got bored of paintball, but I feel like sorry, I just had to do that bit of work there. I feel like that's why I got into sword fighting, because it's really hard to master sword fighting. Like no fight is exactly the same, because every person you fight against is different. People think differently, and you have to outwit them. And then also you build on yourself with more and more techniques. Right, and then you improve yourself as a person. It's like, oh, instead of doing this move here, I should have done this move here. And I find that super interesting. Whereas, you know, in paintball, it was kind of all the same. Move here, shoot this person. It's not like, whereas sword fighting is really different each time. I like the variety of it. And you could argue that paintball had that variety, like, you could have that variety as well in paintball, but I really didn't feel it. See, the thing that I concerned about the most is like giving up hobbies and like discovering that you're wasting that time. Paintball is a bad example, but like I really feel like worried that I'm not gonna enjoy, you know, streaming in the long term. I wasted all this time trying to figure it out. VGT is good. It's an ETF, exchange traded fund. Nice. It's a growth share. Okay, it's a growth share. All right. I'm really interested in the dividend ones, like the really good dividend ones. But I think we both should aim for a share if we want to own a house anytime soon. There's plenty of kickboxing though. I've seen plenty of places. Pretty sure you could learn kickboxing. But the question is, what's stopping you? Okay. So So the only reason the stream here is going is because like it's really easy to set up a camera and film like doing this stuff, but ultimately there is a driving motivation, and that is to get fit. And I think I would really enjoy like full contact sparring with people eventually when I get the gear up and running. It's going to be a long process though. That's going to be annoying to remove. I don't know if I even need to remove it, but we'll smooth that out. There's no, okay. So rather than kickboxing, it's a growth share. I increased the percentage of growth shares in my portfolio recently to buy a house. Yeah, that's the strategy. Well, I'm too weak to do karate. I was prepping for soccer, but now we can't go out for much. Really? Like you were prepping for soccer? Is that why you were like going for walks? Is that it? It was all to prepare for soccer. Are you going to join Mitch's team? Has he finally convinced you? Oh, dude, you unplugged me. Why? Are you telling me to use that dremel? Okay. All right. It's not on.
I'm gonna use this.
That thing?
This is the thing.
Okay. What's this button do?
It locks the end so you can unscrew the...
Oh, okay. Alright. But it's got... There's no sandpaper on it right now, right?
That's the stone there.
That's the... Why is it so smooth?
Because you've been using it.
Okay. Shouldn't you be dipping this in water and stuff?
We're using it on wood.
Oh, okay. Alright. I'll see how it goes. Is that how you turn it? Okay. See how this goes. It's alright. I don't think I need it that big. It's not really doing anything. Yeah, a stone is that's not the right way to do that. Stone is too hard. You need to use the rubber cushion thing, because it'll just use the corners if I'm not dead flat on. You know what I mean? Is that gonna fit? Is this head kind of the... Okay, that'll work, I think. No, it's too loose.
Too loose?
Yeah, I need to use that head.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Guess I'll use this from now. I don't know how to remove that. It's not coming out. And we need some pliers.
I'll just leave it in there. Maybe we can use this one.
Gee, thanks for like helping. That was...
I helped.
Yeah, it helped. Woo! So much value. Much value. Get myself some pliers here and see if we can remove the head. Okay, what do we got?
Leave it.
You can remove the head. It's meant to be removable, right?
It is.
And then use that one. It's not moving.
You're killing it.
Alright, yeah, you do it.
You're killing it.
Yeah, killing it. But maybe it's already dead because it doesn't want to come out.
It would work. It holds what it...
I thought, okay, so it's prepping with something. I thought I could join Mitch's team, start doing some exercise in my room, and got a bit too much. Then you got sick. Oh boy. Just gotta, I don't know, man, just keep doing it every day. Stick with it. Eventually you want to go there. So yeah, like, so it comes full circle, right? Like I'm not sure how to, so what's happening with that? Is that not working?
I don't want to hurt it.
What do you mean hurt it? It's just removing the head, right?
Yeah, but removing the head might destroy the head. I still use that head.
So it's fundamentally useless. Yeah, turn it on. It's useless.
To use.
Thanks for nothing.
That's okay.
Start to do exercise again next week. Yeah, but will you even be allowed to go out next week? I think the virus is in lockdown, is in full swing, right? In my room. Oh, okay. So at least, you know, if you collapse, you'll be next to the bed. Plenty of YouTube videos. Hey Koji, I released a YouTube video lately. I think I put it in I don't know if you can find it. I put it on my Facebook page. It's a time-lapse video of me taking apart the armor. It's pretty good. Looks pretty cool, like, visually. I think it's about time, like, I changed that. Yeah, I think I need to change this. It's the sanding belts have worn off, so I'm going to replace it with a new one. Use this. Screwdriver there. Replace this. On a new one. So we got that. And back in business. Throw this little piece of sandpaper out. It's not really that good. So I used it a lot, and it's now worn thin, so I'll replace it with a new one. See how it goes. Yeah, like, keep up with the exercise, buddy. Like, the more you do it, the more, like, energy you find yourself having at the end of every day. And with more energy, you can do more stuff. Okay, check the vid AFK. Alright, cool. I think you'll like the vid, so yeah. So yeah, life hasn't really changed much for me under the coronavirus. Life hasn't really changed much for me in the coronavirus. I can't go to like martial arts classes. Working with people at work is more stressful. Working with people at work is more stressful because, you know, they're all stressed at home looking after their family while they're working. Sorry about that. Trying to keep the conversation going. And how else has it affected me? I can't eat in the places where I want to eat anymore. I have to like take the food, take it to my car, and then eat my dinner in the car. That's how I eat out now. It's like kind of inconvenient. It's not really. Because I still end up watching Netflix on my phone whilst I eat. So that's nice. It hasn't really changed much. And in the car, like where I can turn the car on and have the Netflix like pump through the speakers. So. Yeah, so So yeah, I don't think I've changed that very much. I am concerned about my family, like how they're doing in this time of crisis. I think they're doing okay. Yeah, not really much to say about the coronavirus. I just hope it doesn't last too long. So I do want to get back to playing poker and eating out of places. So other than that, I'm perfectly happy to just play video games at home. Man, this part of the armor is like really textured really weirdly. I guess I'm really lucky in that respect that my life hasn't really changed too much in light of the coronavirus. Mainly because like I'm able to do a job from home if I wish, and you know, work hasn't really stopped. Like I'm able to do it online, and a lot of my colleagues are able to do it online, and it's just a matter of doing it at home. So it's okay to do some work at home. So that's all right. I'm really thankful that I'm in the line of work that hasn't really been disrupted too much, and I can work from home. Having said that, like, yeah, like, I think this stemmed from like making sure I had money to feed myself. And that's a whole story in itself, but basically, like in Japan, I did put myself in a position where I didn't know what I was going to eat, how I was going to eat, because it was super bad. I lived in Japan for like 3 months, and the life lesson I learned from that is like the world is expensive, and as long as you have work and an income of money, you'll be fine. Which is what I've learned, a life lesson. Keep yourself busy with work. I tried to make it work in Japan, was not able to find work, and I started starving myself and got in a really dark place because I couldn't afford anything. And I eventually came home broken. So that's the lesson I learned from Japan. Always have a job, always be working, always be earning money to keep yourself alive. And I never want to be in that position ever again, where I have to like worry about where my next lunch was coming from. Very dark time. I'll tell you that story later. Watch your video on Facebook. Interesting. It'd be nice to explain what you're doing in the video, but it was good. Oh, thank you so much. So like, do you think, so I was thinking maybe in order to explain without having to, like put my voice over it, because I don't know, just the idea of having a voiceover on that video seems really bad. It breaks the flow of time in that video, and the focus is to put the stuff together. It's a time lapse, right? Time lapses are usually silent, and they usually have like soothing music as you watch time pass. So instead of doing a voiceover, do you think if I modified the subtitles to explain so people can read as the thing is like passing by. So if it was like, so if we were to watch that video and the subtitles was telling me what's actually happening, do you think that'd be a good way to go about it, or do you think it'd be better to just, you know, speak over the video and explain what I'm doing?
You could do it on your Warhol did.
Huh?
You could do it on your Warhol did and just play it and fast forward.
Huh? Paint and fast forward.
Play it and fast forward.
No, that's what a time lapse is. It is played in fast forward.
Very fast.
Yes, it's like 8 times. Watch the video.
Alright.
Yeah, it's on it's in the Slack, I think, in the project section. And I was thinking of like putting like YouTube subtitles in it, sort of like primitive technologies. So the video. Primitive technology videos are usually just silent, and they just have like nature sounds and just the sounds that are coming out of the workshop. Yeah. Yeah, it's just yeah, and the way he explains what he's doing in those videos is he put, like, if you turn on subtitles, it tells you what's happening in the video. So I think that's a better way to go about it. Like, so far the feedback that I've received so far is like, I wish the music was more calming. I think people were trying to watch it as they were going to sleep. Yeah, but I'm glad you liked it. Interesting video. I'm planning to make more eventually. I'm polishing this thing for a while now. I think this needs a bit more polish. Yeah, it was good. I'm glad you liked it. What else could we talk about? So life is going on as per usual. We're galvanizing this armor. We have it galvanized. In fact, I have to pick up the other half this Saturday. So this is the back half of it. No, this is the front. Yeah, this is the front. So we're sanding down the front, right, to make sure it's smooth to wear, especially on the inside, because the inside will be jabbing into our skin. But this is the front. I have to pick up the back segments from the metal shop this Saturday. I'll pick up the back segments, and then spray paint, sand and spray paint all of that, and then we can finally lace it together for good.
Are they going to be open?
Huh?
Are they going to be open?
What do you mean, is it going to? Yeah, it's going to be, I think Saturday, yeah. The metal shops haven't stopped. So yeah, we'll be doing, once we finish this, we'll be doing the front part. Doing the front part. So yeah, Overwatch. Overwatch is rolling out new features. I like this new feature because the main feature is that they're introducing hero bans. So you can like ban heroes that you're not good against. I think that'll be interesting to play in Overwatch. But I'm worried that the small pool of players, or small pool of playable heroes, is too small to make that work. Because I think they only have like 26, 27 heroes for you to choose from. And with role lock, it only allows you to play like attack or tank or support. And there's only 10 in each, so it'll be interesting to see where that goes. But I hope like hero bans is a good idea and all, but it might not work because the hero pool is too small. But good work. That is a big drip. I think they actually shaved it off for me. This was definitely put in a bar. Like electroplating is a lot more consistent. Did this wood split apart? It certainly was not that piece of wood when I started. It looks way different. I don't know where it's gone.
It's in the bin. I took pieces off of it. I threw them in the bin.
Huh?
I took pieces off of it and I threw it in the bin.
Really? Yeah. I think at one of these days you're gonna have to show me how to use the sewing machine. One of these days, because like I will be using it soon for the next bit of armor. So like once I finish the breastplate, I'm moving down to my like thighs, and that involves like sewing some stuff together.
That's fine.
Yeah. I have to like design it still on the computer.
Do you have to?
Huh?
Do you have to design them? Yeah.
No, I'll design. It'd be really cool if I could like get it laser cut, because I design it on the computer and then get a laser cut, and then yeah, it'll be exactly the dimensions I want it. So and then once I have that file, if I need extras, I can just print it out.
Absolutely true.
Yeah, so I think that's the better way to go about it. I'll have to design it on paper and then make like a Photoshop version of the design, and then after that we'll see if we can laser cut that. But I'm not sure why like the laser cutter is broken and what we're doing about going to fix it.
That's not really my department. I just use it.
You just use it. Come on, man. Use it all the time.
Okay. Well, we're not exactly sure why it's not working.
Oh.
And we use it all the time.
That's a little worrying.
It's an issue, yeah.
It's a big issue. Like, so if you didn't know what this story is about, so basically a while ago, like maybe a week ago, the laser cutter stopped cutting, which is not ideal for a laser cutter.
Everything else is fine, but it won't cut.
Yeah, everything else is fine, but you know, the laser cutter in the way.
We think there's one of the lenses is not aligned properly, and it's just throwing it off.
Oh. See, I saw like Scott like removing it. I saw Scott removing it, and then like I hope you know what you're doing. And then like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. And then he polished the lens and put it back. And then ever since that day, it never worked. Like Scott said he like did this before. I was like, are you sure you know what you're doing here? It's like, oh, I've done this before. It's fine. And then it's never worked. So he cleaned like the mirror on the aperture or something. I saw him cleaning it, and then it never worked from that day.
The mirror. Okay.
Yeah, you know the part that reflects the beam down onto
I've seen him clean the lens.
Huh?
I've seen him clean the lens plenty of times, but not the mirror.
So I saw him clean the mirror. And then like that's all I remember, and then an announcement the next day saying, oh, the laser cutter's broken, guys. Like very, very coincidental timing that his maintenance happened like right before that. I'm not implying anything, it's coincidental that he was repairing it and then now it's broken. Yeah. So reading the comments now, it would be nice to explain it. You can explain some of the points of something though and fast forward afterwards. Okay. That way people who may be interested in what you're doing will know a bit of the details. Okay. I'll consider doing that. So do you think so would you say that I have like a short explanation and then fast forward like the process? Because then it wouldn't be a time-lapse video anymore. It'd be sort of like an instructional. Whereas I was thinking just keep the footage the same and just type out what I'm doing in the subtitles. So makes sense. Yeah. So it's not an instructional video. It's just a time lapse. So it's only for interesting visual effects. and I've been sanding with a sponge this entire time. Look, it's wearing through. We're just gonna have a sponge at one point. Like, there's no more sand on this sponge. This block of.
Okay, you got 2 others.
Yeah, but they're different courses.
They won't be when you're done with them.
Huh?
They won't be when you're done with them.
I think we're almost done here. Feels kind of smooth too. I don't think there are many bumps I'm not proud of. But the edges need some work. Like this is pretty rough. I'm gonna put this on the sponge, put that on the sponge, so it's not so noisy. So what were we talking about? Regrets. Yes, that's what we're talking about. So I regret not wasting time on stuff that I didn't eventually find interesting, that I eventually found boring and gave up. That's a regret. Maybe I should have been doing something else.
You wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have known that, right, without getting into it. So was it worth it? Was it worth it to find that knowledge? I think it's more worth it to be honest with yourself, but then you're more quicker to give up things. How about you, John? Do you have any regrets?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright. You wanna share one?
No.
Still hurting from that regret, huh? Come on, surely there's one you can share. I'm not gonna force you, but surely there's one.
I can share one. I can share one that's relevant right now. One day I didn't wear safety glasses and I got a couple of pieces of metal in my eye.
Yeah, that's a big regret.
Yeah.
So if you didn't hear that, he didn't wear safety glasses one day and got metal shards in his eye.
2 of them.
Did you have to go for surgery?
No, but I got scars on my eyelid and on my eye.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's a big regret.
They didn't give me eye drops either. They made me rubbing ointment into it.
They made you what?
They made me rubbing ointment into my eye.
Wow. Whilst the metal shards were in it.
Yeah, because I didn't get them all on the same day. I had to go back the next day to get the other one.
Oh, gross. Yeah, that's a life filled with regret. Oh, you, Koji? Any regrets on your end? It's okay. It's a safe space here. We can talk about shit. Nobody watches this anyway.
It's not a safe space. This is not a safe space.
Not a safe space.
This is a maker space.
Oh.
Safe.
It has to be safe to be a makerspace.
No, it doesn't.
It has to be safe. Of course, it has to be safe.
No,
Our number one priority is safety.
yeah, it's a priority.
Yeah. So it's a safe space.
No, it's not
It's a safe space.
It's not a safe
safe space.
No space is really safe.
It's a safe space. Any regrets on your end? I don't know. Life is filled with regrets and happiness. I feel you gotta take the good with the bad. See, I still regret that I haven't been able to do game development yet. That's another regret. Everything in my life has been dictated by science and math. Never really gotten into something creative. I regret not finding out if I was any good at something creative. And it's hard to get things wrong when you're creative. Kind of regret I didn't study very hard in school and didn't play soccer more seriously. Okay, that's an interesting one. So okay, did you have a reason to study hard? I mean, I know in your like culture, like it's sort of just people study hard for the sake of studying hard. But people, what I find that a lot of successful people who do actually manage to study hard and do well is that they had a drive, a reason to do it. So, did you have a reason? Did you have a reason to study hard in Japan? When you were in high school?
Did you have a reason to study hard?
Yeah. Did you?
You always got a reason.
Huh?
You've always got a reason to study hard.
Well, like I didn't really have a strong reason. What about you, John? Did you study hard in high school?
No.
Okay. Did you have obviously you didn't have a strong reason to?
Oh, I had plenty of reason to study hard, but I didn't want to.
Okay. Okay, why didn't you want to? Is this something you want to share or?
I wanted to be a security guard, so I didn't need to study hard.
So how did that work out, being a security guard?
It sucked.
Really? Like,
Yeah, it sucked. Not what the movie has you think it is.
huh?
It's not like in the movies. You can't just go to sleep at work.
Is that all you wanted to do? Just sleep at work?
If you get paid to sleep, it's a pretty good job, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess. Some people get paid to travel.
Yeah, but to do that, you've got to study hard, right?
But to do that, what?
To do that, you've got to study hard.
Stay hard.
You've got to study hard.
Study hard. What? Get paid to travel?
Yeah.
What? Not unless you're like a travel critic, right?
You got competition for that sort of job.
Huh?
You have competition for that sort of job.
Yeah. Alright, well I'm guessing you didn't have a reason to study hard. I don't think I had a strong reason to study hard, I just happened to. Looking back at it, I think I could have done more, but I was bored with studies. Like I didn't find it interesting and I didn't have the motivation to. Like every time I go to high school, I do the work and everything, but as soon as I got home, I didn't want to do any of the extra work, or I didn't have the drive to really understand what I was studying. So like I asked my mom, and she was great, and she hooked me up with a tutor, where the tutor was able to explain things to me very easily, and I was able to, because I was with a tutor and it was more personalized learning, I was able to retain a lot of that information and do well in my studies. So, my IQ was artificially inflated through tuition. And that's how I did well in studies. And that's how I got into university and into software engineering, which I thought I would be able to make games, but games is a highly exploited industry. Like if you go into gaming, like you are never paid well, ever. Like I have not seen a position that was well paid. Yeah, because it's the argument that, it's an art. Because it's an art, your passion should fill your stomach, right? You don't have to buy food, yeah? You can just fill it with passion. And that's not how it works, man. The stomach needs food. And and me and you, we need to buy our stocks. Because we like seeing our stocks rise. And that's something that makes us happy every day. Watching our stocks rise in value. So we get closer to owning our own place. Alright, didn't have any study at all, yeah. Well, same for me. Really hated studying, so I just played soccer at my high school and played drums. Failed subjects like maths and physics. Really? Because I always thought you seemed to be a really smart guy and you knew your stuff. It's eye-opening to see that you were not that studious. Right? Because I think everyone, even if you did study that hard, if you didn't study that hard, like even if we suddenly put you in an Australian school, I think you would still be the top student. It's like, man, there's a culture in Japan that they actually identify who did the best in exams, right? I'm pretty sure that's a thing. I think that's pretty good. It's very smooth. That's done. I'm gonna move on to the next one. Okay. Yeah, this could use a lot of work. This part is really worn down. I'm just gonna move the camera. Oh, maybe that's too low an angle. I'll just do it like this. Yeah, I mean, like, I didn't study hard either. I just got a tutor to learn things for me, or to explain things clearly for me, and then, like, yeah, I didn't do sports like you did. I just went home and played computer games as much as I could. I was a gaming addict back in the day. I think the first game that I played, I think, was Super Mario 1 on the first Nintendo drive. See, like, games back then weren't really that fun. They weren't as compelling as games nowadays. Whereas, nowadays you got like story, backline, and it's sort of like, well, the games I play are like like usually have character development and a good story. So that's why I play games. I mostly play games to escape and to listen to the story that's trying to teach me, like a movie, but it's way more interactive because you can pace. Unlike a movie, you can pace the story the way you want. You can control like how fast the story plays out. And I played video games back in the day. Didn't play the drums. I mostly tried to figure out how to play games a lot. Huh?
I played a lot of games.
Yeah. Well, what did you play?
What or why?
What did you play?
Most of them.
So what, you owned the Nintendo 1?
Yeah, PC.
Huh?
PC,
Mostly PC, okay. What's the first PC game you played?
Probably.
Huh?
Man the King.
See, I think, so mine was like, we managed to get a...
No, it wasn't. It was right in Lexington.
What?
That was right in Tennessee. It was on 3¼ floppy drive.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's old. I think the first game I played was Super Mario on the first Nintendo Entertainment System. And then we had like Duck Hunt. Played that. And then my family got a Nintendo 64. We got Super Mario 64. I never really liked platformers, and I never really finished Mario 64. Didn't really see the need or the point. I don't think I really quite got into games until we got like our PS2, and then we bought like there was a mecha game that I played called Zone of the Enders, and that was like my first experience. Oh yeah, like I had a PlayStation 1, and then my dad found out how to copy games, and he modified our PlayStation 1. Well, he bought like a Game Shark thing that hacked the PlayStation 1. And so I was able to ask my friends or to borrow their games for a while, and all the games that they had were bootleg anyway, so they weren't real versions. So I asked to borrow them, and every time I borrowed them, I like copied myself a version of that, like a CD of that game. I copied it, and then like my collection of PS1 games grew so much. Yeah. So I remember like on the PS1, I had Jackie Chan Stuntmaster, which was like a brawl on a shoot 'em up, but it was voiced by Jackie Chan. It's pretty fun. We had Tomb Raider for a bit. Tomb Raider was pretty crap. The controls were pretty shit, and that's why I kind of don't play Tomb Raider, like the recent game, the recent iteration of Tomb Raider, because Tomb Raider is like I always remember the first version of Tomb Raider, and it sucked. Like just the whole like mechanics of how she moved, how she was mapped to the D-pad, so you know whenever you would move, like hold it down for a long time, it would hurt. Yeah, just the whole bad memories of trying to get around Tomb Raider, and like the whole aiming mechanic with her gun, like with her weapons and stuff, was just super clunky, and I would never get past the first level because it was just a cave, and then all the walls looked the same. It was just like I would get lost, and then I got bored. So I never really. So that's why I always have a bad impression of Tomb Raider, because Tomb Raider 1 sucked. It's basically what it is. Tomb Raider 1 sucked and ruined the series for me. So never got into it from then on. But weirdly, my uncle, who also had a PS1, weirdly he was into it. Weirdly, he said he finished Tomb Raider 1, and he said at the end boss was a dragon in which you pulled a dagger out of its back to kill it. I think the dragon was like a statue or something, and then the knife was like some kind of artifact. I'm gonna look it up at home and see if he bullshit me. But like, there were so many times where my family lied to me. So I think this is one of them where they said, "Oh yeah, I finished the game," and they just made up the ending. So I'm pretty sure that is a possible thing for my family to do to me. So what video games did you play? I played Mario Kart a lot. Which Mario Kart? Because Mario, I think the first Mario Kart I had was like Mario Kart 64, which was on Nintendo 64, right? That was the only Mario Kart that I played, and I was bad at it, especially like Rainbow Ride, the final level, so hard. I kept falling off, and that ice level, like whatever that ice level was, so dumb. So yeah, I played Mario Kart. So here's the thing, like, because I would see my family and cousins all the time, they would bring their Nintendo games to our house to play as well. So whenever they visited, they always had it. And like, we always played together. You know, it was a good time. My cousin was really into fighting games. I think he was into like a fighting game called Killer Instinct by Interactive. So we played Mario Kart, we played GoldenEye, so GoldenEye 64. Played through that. GoldenEye 64, played through that. Yeah. Killer Instinct, which I didn't really get into because I sucked at fighting games. I didn't really understand them. I never really got into fighting games until I played Smash competitively. Yeah, so I never really appreciated fighting games until then. I was never a Street Fighter kid. I was always a Smasher. Played Super Smash. Played Super Smash a lot. That was fun.
I think the best fighting game is One Must Fall.
What?
One Must Fall.
One Must Fall. Is that a PC game where you're a knight
Robots.
Robot. Nah, it doesn't ring a bell. Super Nintendo, yeah, that's Super Nintendo Mario Kart. Okay, so you played the previous version. I played Mario Kart on the 64. Good fun.
I used to play way too many video games, way too much, but what actually got me out of it was the fact that there was a period where most of the games being released were just clone copies of each other, more successful, better made titles.
Oh yeah, like what?
Like, for example, Call of Duty.
Yeah. There was a clone of what other FPSs? Is what you said?
Call of Duties.
Oh yeah, so what?
They're all basically the same game.
Yeah, but it was like, yeah.
But a lot of other games are copying it.
Like Battlefield.
Yeah.
I don't think I've played many Call of Duty clones.
No?
No?
Have you played many third-person shooters?
Not really. I think Modern Warfare was like, let's see, the first FPS shooter I played was GoldenEye on 16. Yeah, that was the first one I played. The James Bond game. It was really fun. But we always put like stupid settings on it, so we never really could get competitive. We always put like the health on high, and then we were just smacking each other to death in the corner, and like Noah, it would take like 50 slaps to kill someone. It's dumb. Like it was the dumbest game mode ever. It would just be there slapping each other in the corner. No guns, just slap. It was a karate chop move, and like no one would die. Like because the health settings were set too high, and we were just spamming like this single button as a kid, just doing and for some reason we found that to be fun. Like, but nowadays looking back at that, it's like you're not playing even a game mode. You're not running around. You're not dodging. You're not playing the fun bit of FPSs. You're just sitting there in the corner, just slapping each other. So dumb.
When I played that, I played it with a friend who would always just take Oddjob.
Oh yeah. And then Oddjob was banned. We had to like make a promise not to use Oddjob.
It was his game, so if you play it, it was Oddjob. He was really shit, man. He would do the cheapest tactics.
Yeah, because they worked.
They work, yeah. It's like cheating in a game. Like, what is the point? If there's no challenge.
Yeah.
Is it just to stroke your ego or what?
Yeah, we didn't really think too hard as kids. Like,
I did.
like golden gun mode. Like man with the golden gun, and then we all rushed to get to the golden gun, and whoever had the golden gun, we had to like run away and hide from.
I like the gravity.
Huh?
I always like playing with the gravity in games.
Yeah. Fun times. I played Smash. Smash was fun. I played Tekken 1. No, Tekken. I had Tekken 3. So my uncle bought Tekken 1, which was just a fighting game. Didn't really quite the feel of Tekken 1, but we had Tekken 3, which was a lot better. So we had Tekken 3. Smash Brothers was really fun, but I think you're playing about Smash Brothers 1. I only got into Smash like after Brawl, so that was the Wii version. Man, this is definitely part of a bath. Definitely a bath. Yeah, fun days, where like we didn't really think too much about the games and we just played, even though like our settings were dumb. Let's see. And then I think somewhere like we got a 64. That was our. We got the NES. That was our first console. The next buy was a 64 and PlayStation 1. Dad spoiled us. And then because of the PlayStation 1, I was able to copy so many games. I kept borrowing them from my friends in primary school and burning them at home. So burning meaning copying. So eventually I had like a really big library of games. Some of them didn't work, but that was okay. I burned like a heap of games. Most memorable ones, I think, were Digimon Rumble Arena. So that was another fighting game that I played for a short bit. Digimon World. So that Digimon 1 was able to. That was pretty fun. Digimon World was pretty fun. You got to run around the Digimon world and explore. What else? I had another James Bond game, which was, I think the world was not enough. I think in that version of the game, they had like scenes from the movie inside the game. So, and I think that game was really easy to finish. It wasn't too hard. It was a very good experience. I think it fondly. Yeah, there was just a lot of games. I wish I played the more popular ones like Metal Gear Solid. And then after the PS1, my dad got a PlayStation 2, and I only owned very few games on the PlayStation 2, mainly because I didn't have a memory card. So because I didn't have a memory card, I couldn't save my progress in any of the games. So I always had to start a game from anew. And with RPG games, that was very hard because like I had to start the game and then like speed run through it until I finished it. So I remember like trying to play Grand Theft Auto Vice City and Grand Theft Auto 3 and trying to speed run those games because I couldn't save. And because I couldn't save, I could only like just play as fast as I could. So I played like the beginning missions like 50 times. Because I couldn't save. I didn't have a memory card. So I had to speed run those games to like get the ending and try out the new missions. So that was fun. But I have no regrets though, because I think eventually later in life I was able to buy those games on Steam and finish them on Steam. So I finally found out how Grand Theft Auto Vice City ends, and I also found out how Grand Theft Auto 3 ends. That was the first game I purchased by myself. I got $100 for being the best student in the school. So I bought Grand Theft Auto, and it was a special. So it was Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City for $100 when I got that.
That's pretty good incentive for being the best student in the school.
Huh?
That's pretty good incentive for being the best student in the school.
Yeah. It was primary school there, so as good as that could have been. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. We didn't really do much work today, but I think I fulfilled my goal today of talking the entire stream and not having dead air. And you helped because you were here to talk shit. So thanks.
You know what my school would have given me if I was the best student?
What?
Brainwashing.
Brainwashing?
How
do you mean? Like, do tell like this story. Like, tell us about your school. Is it an Australian school?
It was, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was a religious school.
It was a what?
It was a religious school.
Religious school.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
They do every trick they can.
Huh?
They do every trick they can. Like peer pressure, they incorporate the Bible into every lesson. They had a church on site.
Yeah, okay. See, I don't think we had that.
They also had the principal would actually hit the students if they misbehaved.
Oh wow, that's really old.
I was never actually religious. I don't know why I was allowed in.
Or maybe they wanted to convert you. Maybe it was their mission to convert you by the end of the year or something.
Yeah, maybe.
So if you became the best student at the school, like how would they brainwash you exactly?
Like, just the prize to being the best student is the one that's the most indoctrinated.
Oh really? Oh. But you see, I feel like that's how you become the best student, by being the most indoctrinated.
Yeah,
but like in my school, like you had to become a student first. Well, you have to become the best student first, and then they give you the reward at the end of the year. So you just had to be like a good student, that's all, and then do well in studies. I'll expect for a long time, and it's 10 o'clock. Oh, Smash Brothers won. So stop playing games after uni, too busy working. I see. But now you've got all this time again, so you can play games again.
No. This is a great time for studying.
See, like, you don't know Koji, but Koji is a colleague of mine, and he's from Japan. And
Whereabouts?
huh?
Whereabouts?
I think Tokyo area.
Tokyo, I've been there. Huh?
Yeah.
Maybe once.
So the thing is, like, he moved to Australia to get away from the work culture. And technically every day in Australia is like a holiday for him because it's like an 8-hour working day. So it feels like a holiday for him. And like now I'm saying, you know, you have all this time now, but he's always using it to sleep. It's like he's catching up on all the sleep he's missed from his life in Japan. Pretty funny.
Yeah, I knew someone that was in China.
Is China, like, how's the working conditions in China? Is that the same?
I don't know.
How many hours? Oh, you don't know? Okay.
But he was a student here.
Oh, okay.
And he used to be a student in China.
Okay.
And he was talking about how they just never stopped studying.
Really?
There's only a limited number of seats in the uni, and so everyone's competing for them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So when he got here, it was just a breeze. So.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, you don't know how hard the world is until you go out and experience it for yourself.
Yeah, but you can still appreciate it without knowing how good you got it.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm told that Australia is pretty good, but I've never really worked outside Australia before.
Australia is the location and makes it a good place, but the government makes it a crap place.
Well, it's not that crap compared to other crap governments.
There are worse.
But there are better.
There are better, and if we had just a half-baked competent government, we would be so much better off.
Yeah. Well, that's your fault for not voting them in.
I voted for other people. I didn't vote for ScoMo.
I don't think I voted for ScoMo. I think I made a mistake, actually. Like, I I put like Labour first and then Liberal second. I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I should have put Liberal last and then everybody else first.
I never voted Liberal.
I never intended to vote Liberal, but I have to like revise my voting.
I mean, I'd vote for Liberal if I were rich,
Yeah, okay.
because then I would benefit. But I don't.
See, I don't know how I would change if I was rich. So, like, it's hard to imagine because I'm not there. I mean, I'm not in the, like, you know, the hard rat race, you know? I'm not in the rat race where I'm, like, worried about my next paycheck and paying the bills.
So just living sensibly gets you out of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I hope I'm living sensibly. I'm not too sensible, but sensible enough. Yeah, like
What time is it in Japan?
oh, he's not in Japan now. He's here.
Oh, okay.
So he escaped.
That's right. Yes.
We like to say that he escaped. He escaped. So yeah, and so every day's a holiday for him. Like, you know, if work said mandatory overtime, it would still be a holiday. Let's see. I can play. Well, yeah, I can play sub games. Lived in Kanagawa. What is Kanagawa known for? Is it known for anything special? Like Tokyo is known for being the capital of Japan, and Akihabara, which is part of Tokyo, central district of animes that come out. Australia has good working environment, and many companies follow the laws. Okay. Well, yes. I mean, like recently, Woolworths has admitted that they're behind in paying overtime.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yes, to an extent. Commonwealth Bank finally being investigated for like doing dodgy banking practices, like charging fees to dead people.
Okay.
That's fucked up. So they were charging like advisory fees to dead people.
Okay. So what advice do they give them?
Exactly. How could they give them advice?
Send them emails.
So yeah, like I mean, I appreciate what banks do, but
What? When
then
charge
like,
other people for using your money.
well, you know, that's how you buy houses, right?
Yeah. What banks do is they take your money, they charge you for holding it, and then while they've got it, they sell it to other people.
Depends on
That's
what
where
bank
the
you're
loans
with.
come from.
Depends on what bank you're with, because like if you're with ING or like Bank West, I think, and I think Commonwealth now has started to catch up. Like they stopped charging people for like a yearly administration fee for their account, so it's completely free to own a bank account now.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's recent. That's only a recent thing that's happened, but ING has always been like that.
Might be worth looking at banks again, because I was with Newcastle Permanent to avoid that, because I just didn't like the idea of being charged a fee to have my money being held by them.
Yeah. So I think there still is an account fee, but the thing that changed was that they stopped charging customers from withdrawing from other ATMs.
Oh.
Yeah. So like if you're with like what, Commonwealth, and you try if you're with Newcastle Permanent and you withdraw from Commonwealth, like they charge you $2.50 or something for that withdrawal.
Yeah, from ATM, but
Yeah.
I'm very rarely using ATM.
But I think all the major banks now, like they allow you, if you withdraw from any major bank one, so Westpac.
This is ATM, so it's not going to make that big difference.
Yeah, but it's $2.50, right?
So that's $2.50 a year that I have to worry about.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, that's what you withdraw once a year.
From ATM, yeah.
Really?
I very rarely handle cash.
Oh, okay. So you pay for it with FPOS, right?
Yeah.
But if check your bank, but basically, like you can get an account where it's like 0 fee account.
I absolutely do that already. Like Newcastle Home, all their accounts are free.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay.
No annual fees or anything.
Yeah, okay, that's good. The added advantage of ING is that that's still, hey, you're a little late.
Hello.
Oh, yeah. Family.
They might be able to do something cool for your stream that's not what you're already doing.
Yeah, maybe.
Something else that's cool. That's what I meant to say.
Huh?
Something else that's cool.
Sure. But ING you can still go overseas and use the same cards at ATMs.
Well, that's useful.
And then there's no charge for that either.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Money is much better, and I get to go home at 5. It may be normal to be Australian, but I really appreciate it. Yeah, you tell me every day. It's like the one thing. You're still on holidays. It's like you're still in a dream, right? You told me how bad it would have been if you had to go back. You would be crying. I don't know. Could you like? Is there a plan to start a family, or you're just past that point? You just want to live alone and not have a family. Is that the plan now?
This one.
A friend of mine. I told a friend of mine at work about your silver casting, and want to know. They want to know how you do it. So
Oh, it's magic.
they want to know how you do it. They want a breakdown on how it's done.
Oh.
Metal casting.
Yeah, I've got time for it.
Huh?
I've got time for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you heat it up?
Furnace.
Oh, you have a furnace.
Yeah.
Industrial one or just a personal one?
That's the personal one. I thought that was easier in my situation than like getting gas and oxygen and big flames going.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know.
So what is it? What kind of furnace is it? Electric? Is it
Electric.
electric?
Gets up to about 1150 Celsius. But still will be only like 980 or so, 990.
Okay.
I'm finding the mold is the hardest. Most people have already pre-cut graphite molds.
Oh yeah. So your molds that you showed, what was that? Was that like silicone or what kind of mold?
That?
Yeah, the Charmander one.
That? Yeah, it was from the forge.
Yeah, like what's the mold made of? It was like a can with stuff in it.
Oh no, that's aluminium. Oh, that's special clay.
Oh, clay.
Yeah, those ones were I think called Delft clay, but that's patented and it's made in Holland. So there's been a delay to get more.
Made in Holland. Wow.
And there's been a delay on that one. You can still buy it elsewhere, but the price is like 3 times the price, like on eBay or something. So I've tried to be different.
What kind of clay is it called?
Delft, D-E-L-F-T.
Okay.
And I've tried something different this week, something called Petrobond sand.
Huh?
Petrobond.
Okay. But what's this other mold that you were talking about? Oh, you just print it out here?
Yeah.
So what? So how does it work? You just print it out in plastic and then you just pour metal into it?
Yeah,
And it
more
just-
or less. I make it on the computer, play around with it, print it, get the special clay in the ring, press it down, clean it up a little, heat the furnace up, I get it about halfway first, just like slowly gets to the temperature. And then once it's 900-ish, I'll throw some silver in there.
Yeah, okay. Wow. Cool.
Throw some silver.
Nice.
Then pour it. But
So you just do it with plastic? I thought you
At the
needed like
moment.
some kind of wax or something.
oh, they're different styles. This is the first time I'm trying it like this.
Yeah, did it work out?
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad.
Some mixed results, some really good results.
Is it better to do it with wax, or
How
how does it compare to wax?
Well, the lost residue, I've got to get some type of vacuum. You've got to put the silicone, like you make a mold, you put it in like some sort of plaster,
Yeah.
slit that, then in the plaster you inject the resin or like that really soft sort of stuff, and then once that cools down, then you pour that in, place that in the sand, but the difference is you can burn it. So you don't have to try to make a perfect mold and open it and then take what you use. You can actually keep
Just
it
pour
in
it
there
in, and it'll burn itself out.
Yes,
Oh, that's with the plastic.
yes.
Oh wow, okay, that's cool.
I want to get to there sooner or later.
Why is it not there yet? Have you not
No.
tried? Have you not tried burning off the plastic?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I want to just prove it something first, and then before trying, different methods.
Okay.
You can just try too many methods at once. Like casting into a graphite mold is pretty easy, but the thing is that you get someone to make it for you, and then that's your mold. That's it. It will look the same almost every single time, except the back of it.
Oh yeah.
But with the sand casting one, you're always going to have, sometimes you might press a little bit over here, or when you pull it out, a little bit collapses and you just so you get different results almost every time.
Oh, okay. That's really interesting.
Delft.
DELFT.
Yes.
Okay. I'll have to remember that.
I can't believe that. Yeah, they just out of stock. I called them and they're like, we're waiting. So then, the other one, Petrobond, as it suggests, Petro is like an oil and bond. That's the bond. It's the bonding agent for the way that they prepare their clay and sand. But I don't know how Delft clay does it. They don't say how they do it. It's just that it's better.
Okay. Well, I
Really
think
soft.
it's time to go. It's like 10:30 or something.
All
All right, just get that sorted. I'm gonna pack up the stream. So thanks for watching, Koji's Take, staying with us. Money is much better. Going on 5. I use Ubank. Saving count is up to 1.85. So one of the highest in Australia. Okay. Not interested in having a family. Would be too much for me to handle other human beings for the next 30 to 50 years. So true. Okay. Well, thanks for hanging out, buddy. Real pleasure to talk to you. Hope you're doing okay at home. The office is really empty. It's like super empty. So yeah, like I didn't expect you to stay at home. I think you were going to tell me you were going to start working at home. So it wasn't that big of a surprise. But there's nobody there now. So it's in fact more isolation at work than at my house. So that's why I continue to go to work. It's kind of lonely. It's all right. Still arriving on time. Still attending stand-ups. So yeah, it's still. I was surprised actually. I thought I would fall into bad habits, but I haven't. So it's good. It's good that on my own I can still show up on time and have good work ethic. So that's good. I didn't think that would have been possible when everybody left and I'd be left by myself. I thought I would fall into bad habits, but I haven't. So that's good. It's good to see that I've learned from my mistakes and improved. Yeah. One question is, can I do it from home? And I'd rather not find out. I prefer to be at work, so I'll continue to be at work. So here's waiting for you. I have not gotten sick at work, so that's good. Yeah. So hopefully see you at work soon. Hopefully this coronavirus passes soon, because I do want to start going out again. And we still have to use our movie tickets, our free movie tickets. that we got that day. Still have to use it. So I hope like the coronavirus lives in time for us to use it, because it does have a expiry date. So yeah. Anyway, looking forward to eating lunch again with you soon. Looking forward to see you at work, and I'll see you then. But for now, I guess we have the stream. I do it every Monday and Tuesday and Friday, so catch me then. Anyway, it's time to go. It's 10:30. We did some sanding today. These plates are kind of sanded. Well, those plates are sanded. We've got 2 more plates to sand. So these sanding blocks are really shit. So I think I might go pick up some sandpaper from Bunnings on Saturday to get a better sanding experience. Yeah. See you next time. See you when you go to work. Maybe see you next Tuesday. I'll be hanging out then again. All right. Later, Koji. Before we go, yeah, I'm doing okay. Yeah, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Let's see if we can find someone to host. I wonder who is around that we can host. Who is? All right, let's see if we can find someone to host. So hosting is where we like raid somebody for popularity. So we're gonna transfer the stream over to whoever's active. Scarlet's pretty good dude. Let's raid that guy. So Scarlet. Nope, that's not it. That's not what I want. Chat. Raid. SKA at Scarlet. Alright. See you when I see you next. Hopefully next Tuesday. See you then.